Hi guys, I'm Ray, and this is a blacksmithing YouTube video. So today we are going to be making a drift. A drift is a tool that a blacksmith uses to create a hole. Now, a drift is unique in that you can use a drift to create a hole that is wider than the width of the bar that you are trying to punch the hole in. A drift works like a buttonhole. It starts with creating a flat slit in your bar and then widens out that slit into a hole. We are going to start with this bar right here. This is a bar of round stock. It's about the diameter of the hole that I want to punch into a bar. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to create a flat chisel-like area on the bottom of the bar. We want to make sure that this flat area is shorter than the diameter of the hole. Is we're going to heat up this bar in the forge. So the first thing that we're going to do is kind of square up this bar. Right now it is a round bar, and we want to make sure that it's nice and square so it doesn't curl and move around on us as we're doing this. So we'll hammer it on all four sides so we can get some nice right angles going. They don't need to be like amazingly right and amazingly sharp, but they need to be there so that we don't end up twisting our stuffies. Now that we've squared off the bar, we are going to start drawing it down. Now, the very end of this bar, we kind of want to draw one end skinnier than the other end. We kind of want to create a screwdriver shape. So deeper on this end, shallower on this one. And it's going to take 2 heats, it looks like. So I'm using an extra long bar for this so that I have enough material to make sure that I get the entire thing drawn out. The plan is after I've gotten the initial start of the drift all nice and drawn out to the shape and size that I wanted, I will cut off the very end of it and then draw that down a little bit so that it slips all the way through easily. Once again, I'm trying to create a nice screwdriver shape where it's wider on the one side than the other. And I will be using the grinder to kind of clean this up so that I can make sure that I have about the width that I want. Once we're happy with the screwdriver shape, we're kind of going to bring this taper back a little bit. And the reason that we want to do that is so we can kind of gradually open up that circle. We want to make sure that that flat edge is centered along the bar. If the chisel part of the drift is not centered along the bar, it will stretch the hole unevenly. We look down the bar to make sure that everything is all lined up and centered. When I'm happy with how evenly this is tapered down, we will go back and round out the corners that we've created. So now we have a rounded, or our punch is now rounded. So we've got a nice drift in there. So for what we're going to do now is we're probably going to cut it about here. And we are going to kind of taper out the back end of it a little bit so that when we drive this down through that hole, we are able to kind of get it to fall out the other side. And there you have it. On the back end, we kind of want to create the start of another taper. We don't need it to be amazingly shallow. We need it to just be just tapered enough so that we can get the drift out after we have stretched the hole all the way. Once again, we want to make sure that this guy is centered and the whole thing is straight if you look down it. And once again, once you've got those corners on there, you want to round that out. So you don't snag it on the hole that you've created. And there you have it, a raw drift that you can use to create a hole in a piece of steel.